Oh, welcome back, guys. Welcome back to the channel. She's very happy today. I have no idea why. She's extra. I was gonna say extra gay, because gay means happy, but people might get the wrong idea.
I forgot we went back in time. Now, when we say gay, meaning happy.
Hey man, I might get demonetized for saying gay. We don't know how YouTube is.
Gay.
Guys, you see the title. I'm tired of saying these titles, man. They're not a title. They saw it in the title section.
He's lazy.
The title section. You know what we're gonna talk about today?
You know who we are. We should have to introduce ourselves by now too. Jesus.
Let's begin. Well, we have new people. That's why I just want to go. We have new people. Let's subscribe.
But it's okay.
Let's begin.
Issues. Should trans women be included in feminist conversations? How about in women's spaces?
Yes, they're women. What's the question?
Pearl,
Trans women are women.
So I want.
Well, he's a woman.
Stuck over there.
Oh, wait, Matt Walsh. Oh, God.
I want to come at this from the position of an athlete.
Oh, Jesus.
So I play semi-pro basketball, semi-pro volleyball.
So
when it comes to
oh Jesus, did you hear that? What?
So I want to come at this from the position of an athlete.
Oh, Jesus.
So I play semi-pro basketball, semi-pro volleyball. So when it comes to athletic spaces, I don't think that trans women should be allowed into athletic spaces because I don't think it's a fair. I think as female athletes, we work so incredibly hard for the little opportunity there is in women's sports.
Would this be a barrier for you?
There's no barrier. There's less opportunity in some industries.
That's what a barrier is.
There's less. It's not. No. It's based on the market.
Means.
Okay.
Hold on, guys.
That's what that barrier. See how when they were talking, everybody was quiet? Mm-hmm. She starts talking. Mm-hmm. Everybody got something to add, got something to say. How about you let her finish like she let you finish? Jesus.
Okay, so again, we work very hard for the little opportunity there is in the space because we're not as entertaining as the men. Sorry, we're just not. And so it's you're gonna take the little opportunity that we're given. And the problem is we can't compete. We can't. I'm 6 foot. If I go up against a 6 foot guy and I play basketball with him, he's gonna body me.
And what happens if I go up against you?
Even if I have years more of training. And so it's you're taking away the little opportunity that we're given and we all work so hard for. And you're just giving it back to biological guys. It's this will be the end of women's sports.
Have you tried confidence?
Eli, hold on, Minnie.
What's that got to do with shit?
It's like when girls say, guys, manifest it. Just manifest it. You know what I mean? Just, you can do it.
And
Confidence, manifest it.
And the other girl's comment about you could body me. She said she turned to Pearl and she was like, well, what about me? If I went up against you, you could body me. You just proved Pearl's point. Pearl said because of the fact that he is the transgender will be bigger than her, he could body her in a sport. Then you turned around and said, well, you could body me, meaning Pearl is bigger than you.
I think
you literally just fucking proved her point.
And
you
the thing is, the difference between her and Pearl, I think, right? The difference is like this, right? The difference between Pearl and a man is like this. That's the difference.
But either way, you're still proving the point.
That's what I'm saying.
Pearl's point is that he is bigger than her. That's why she's gonna get bodied by he, she, whatever. And
his advantage is way more than the advantage should have over you because you're both women. You know what I mean? But a man has way more advantages.
Has way more. Yeah.
So that's the
I've seen her.
Yeah, what's her name? I forgot her name. She's gonna say, what's her name? Yeah, we went to her, remember?
Yeah. So it's this will be the end of women's sports.
Have you tried confidence?
Eli, hold on a minute.
Sorry,
Eli.
confidence can't make me bench what a guy benches.
I don't
Confidence
understand
can't
why
make me
you guys
6'7".
are so hostile. She's sharing her
And confidence
experience
can't make
in
me
a
6'7".
specific
No, she's
field.
sharing
And
trans
I'd have to
misogyny.
go.
No, she's
yeah.
not. She's a woman who's had
No,
an
it's always the-
experience.
it's always- it's
One
always
at a
the
time.
You guys
We
are
let
so
Pearl
obsessed with your
finish.
own experiences and your own existence, and yet when a woman is sitting here telling you, I feel as though this is unfair and this is compromising and this situation is not helping women, you guys are like, meh, meh, meh. But when you're like, I'm a black person that did this, 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 and this, then it's valid and fair and viable.
Eli, I want to give you the chance to respond.
So this is basically a joke of a talking point. Everyone has biological advantages in sports. How tall are you?
5'11" and a half. I'm tall.
I'm 5'8". I am a trans woman. You would crush me. You would absolutely crush
bone
me.
density, wrist strength,
Yeah.
muscle density. You can't switch those.
Yeah, exactly. You would crush me.
But also, Eli, you would never play at the level that Pearl plays because you would never get there.
So let me give you a few more examples here, too. So Michael Phelps produced more lactic acid in his body, which caused him to swim better than any of his competitors. This was widely celebrated, and nobody contested it. Now, this is a performance-enhancing hormone. So we all have different bodies. And now I'm not saying that trans women who aren't on hormones should participate, but there are, every major medical and every major sports organization agrees that trans women who have been on hormones for between 1 and 3 years, depending on the organization, have the same competitive abilities.
The study that you're referencing had like 7 people participated.
That's
That is
misinformation,
not-
by the way.
that
I'm
is not
referencing several different studies. I'm a trans woman and a researcher.
It's getting personal. I don't want it to be
A lot of us
personal.
live in this space where we're told that our
Sure.
opinions don't count because they're not the right kind of opinions, and we're constantly shouted over and talked over, regardless of what we look like, because there's one group in society that basically takes precedence, and it's frustrating. So yeah, of course, it's frustrating.
Ew, you sound like a hyena.
Fuck was that?
Precedence, and it's frustrating. So yeah, of course, it's frustrating
Jesus
because.
Christ! What the fuck was that? Okay, since we already paused it, I think the difference what the girl with the white hair arguing is that there's like, even in men's sports or women in women's sports, they have advantages, right? Because Pearl is 5'11", most girls are not that tall, so she's gonna have a natural advantage, right? Mm-hmm. But the difference between a woman and a woman, like I said before, is minuscule, it's small. But the difference between a guy and a girl, it's huge. That's the difference. That's why it's not the same thing.
Regardless of that fact, you're still proving Pearl's point. Regardless of that fact that you just said, that's obviously correct what you just said. But even if their advantage was just that big, even if the advantage was still as small as the woman's advantage, the person is stronger than the other person. So that person is going to overtake that person. That's Pearl's point. So Pearl's point is that trans men are obviously way stronger than any average woman. And they're going to come into the women's sporting industry and body every single woman. That's her point. That you're coming in here and you're trying to dismantle her point by saying, well, you're stronger than me and you're going to be able to body me. You're literally proving her point. Her point was that a person who is stronger than another person is going to come into an industry and body them. You were literally giving examples that prove Pearl's point, which makes you look stupid.
Let's look at that left one more time.
Oh my God.
And it's frustrating. So yeah, of course, it's frustrating because when we try to talk about it, we get shouted down, we get told to be quiet, we get spoken down to as well. So
Okay,
there's hostility there for
Crazy.
plenty of women.
Let's try to make this an opportunity to speak.
You're
with
literally a
each
white
other
woman from
then.
Australia. You live in a bubble and you're pissed that voices that have been silenced forever finally can be heard.
That's why they have the voice, because they speak up.
Okay, we're having a
She lives in a
conversation
bubble.
about
Wow.
transgender women participating in sports, and I wanted to allow more people to participate. Jordan, I wanted to hear from you.
So I am not a professional athlete. The closest thing I have ever done to anything athletic was I used to do competitive show choir when I was younger. And I don't feel really qualified to make carte blanche statements about whether or not trans women should compete in every kind of sport. And I understand that that is kind of that's a hard pill to swallow. And for me, my first inclination is to approach everything through a lens of inclusivity. But at the same time, I also can't speak accurately to every kind of sport and the different things that go into it. So I really think in these instances, the decisions are best left up to the professional governing bodies that dictate these particular sports.
I just feel like in places, as an ally, in places where there's no understanding, we can just respect and not really, like, our opinions don't fucking matter.
Eli, I saw you nodding your head over there.
What? I don't know what she was getting at. Maybe it's the way that they cut the thing, but I don't know what she was talking about there.
Several times.
Eli, I saw you nodding your head over there.
Several times. This is more than about sports. This is about free and equal participation for transgender people.
So our camera died on us. As you can see, we are in a different attire. It is indeed a new day.
Magic.
So let's continue.
In social life. And the right sees this as a socially acceptable way to begin to remove trans people from different engagements in our society. So it does just start with sports or bathrooms or locker rooms, something that they find is more acceptable. And then at this point, they started to move into education, getting trans teachers fired, banning trans books. This is a route that is very effective because it's seen as more acceptable. But it's also overlooking a lot of major details. Like, I mean, do y'all know how many trans women have won national titles?
One too many.
One. It's Leah Thomas is the only one.
One too many.
If
one too many?
if women's sports were actually going to end in some way, I mean, it's just not happening. Wouldn't you think there would be more trans women in sports when the majority of states do allow trans women full participation? International titles, zero. No global titles have ever been won by a trans woman.
I don't know when this was done, but they're all now. We're in weightlifting, definitely in weightlifting. There's some
Swimming.
Yeah, the guy just swimming. I forgot what the name is. There have been more.
Wrestling.
I think as time goes on, more and more are gonna be coming out, and it's gonna reach a point where a team's gonna be like, "Yo, listen, we've been losing."
They just had a story about how there was a wrestler who was trans in the women wrestling, and he was undefeated for X amount of time now, and then this woman finally defeated him, and there was a huge story on it.
I don't know, sorry, but what's gonna happen is one day a coach is gonna be like, "Yo, we've been losing for a while now." Here's my idea. we get a bunch of trans men. Is that women? Which one is it? When they trans women, right? Put them in here and we see what happens. And then what's gonna happen is once that coach team becomes successful, the other team's gonna be like, "Yo, this is unfair because they got a bunch of trans on their team and that's why they're winning. So let's get our own trans people so we can win too." And guess what? Now this team got it. The other team's gonna be like, "You know what? These two teams are winning. They've been going to a championship, the finals every year, and they have a bunch of trans people on the team." And little by little, all the teams are gonna get trans people, and that's how you're gonna
and before you know it,
eliminate women from women's sports.
It's gonna be all trans.
That's what I'm saying. It's gonna be all trans because sports is about competition. It's about winning. You know what I mean? So if there's even an advantage and an other team is doing it, the other team's gonna be like, "Yo, huh?"
They should do that for the WNBA.
Hey, you playing. Keep watching. You're gonna see. Give it another few years. Give it 5, 10 years. You're gonna see. It's gonna be a bit
of trans people. More entertaining then?
Definitely.
I want to move on to a different topic. I want to talk about Me Too and sort of this social movement that we're living through right now. What is the state of feminism sort of in this post-Me Too era?
We're in post-Me Too?
All right.
Tell me.
Sorry, I got distracted by the Me Too part. Because I was like, we're post Me Too? Wow, like, no one's getting, like, sexually harassed anymore. Like, oof.
We did it, guys. We solved the problem.
We want that world. No, I think, obviously, the state of feminism is very much reflected right in this room. But Me Too, for me, right, in a particular context, means something for different people. It's a different experience for different people. In my culture and in my community, we're still working through that. There is no post-Me Too, right? We're still working through how do we have these tough conversations? How do we teach not just, you know, women, but everyone about consent? What does consent look like? What does that look like in our community? What does that not look like, right? All those things that I think it's still very complicated. But I think it starts at the level of community, right? Of like, how do we have these conversations around consent?
Sydney, I saw your hand up.
Before she goes, I think one thing that's only a little bit, that's what we've been doing nowadays, is like we're defining terms for each different people. Like she says that, oh, Me Too, what Me Too means for me and my community. So each person have a different definition of a word. And that destroys language altogether. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So in order to make my point, I gotta redefine, like it's like women. You gotta redefine what the word woman means. So I can be a part of that. So now we might just be like, let me redefine what Me Too means. Let me redefine what sexual assault means. Let me redefine what this means so it can apply to me.
We're already redefining what's it called? Child sex.
Pedophilia?
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, we're already doing that. But like, I think in this concept, she's not redefining the actual words Me Too. She's redefining the because Me Too was like a hashtag statement. It was almost like the Black Lives Matters movement kind of thing. It was its own like movement. So she's defining what Me Too is for in matters of her community.
You put my point. That's what I'm saying. You cannot define it just based on your community. We all gotta agree on what does it mean. So then we can have a conversation.
To be honest, you can't single it down to one community because it's not just one community that's dealing with rape. It's all communities.
I say grape now because YouTube.
Oh, grape.
It's not really that. I'm just saying that we need to have a consensus of what it means. I'm not saying some communities are not having that. But I'm saying we all gotta know what it means. So when I said, you know what it means, because we might be agreeing to different things. If I say Me Too, right? Yeah, I'm agreeing my point, and you say Me Too, you're agreeing your point. We might be talking about two different things. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I mean by defining what it is.
So when the Me Too thing was unfolding, I was initially like, great, I love the idea of women being able to speak out. What's been really disappointing, I suppose, for me, post-Me Too, as we're calling it, is that, and especially as someone who's sort of on the right wing of politics.
Damn, seriously?
As many of you know, they ended it like that. Is this Pearl? Pearl!
The person who did this clip, no, it wasn't her who did it. Is that her who did the clip?
I see her little face right there.
Yeah, it is her.
Pearl, what's wrong with you?
That's crazy. Well, I guess that's where we are in this conversation because that's so you ended it right there.
Interesting.
But yeah, and I think I was using that in an example. I think we all kind of know what Me Too means, even though she was trying to say in my community. I think we all know what it means, but I'm saying like in general, the way now we're defining words in our own terms is gonna destroy language altogether. Because the only reason we're able to communicate is because we all agree that these things mean a certain thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because let's say you go to a doctor, right? And then you say, Doc, I'm in labor right now, right? That's gonna assume, oh, that's a woman, right? But then now that can't even do that because we define what the word woman means. So now we gotta figure out another term.
Can give birth anymore.
That's what I'm saying. Now we gotta figure out another term to figure out a birthing person. Like, you see what I mean? It's like now we gotta create like 5 different other things for something that we all agree on in the past what this word means. Not because we're defining it, we gotta create other words for different little things. It's just crazy to me. That's what I mean by it's dangerous when we define things on our own community or our own opinions. Well, I guess you got nothing to say, guys.
Don't.
So, so till the next time.
Bye.